Hi guys, welcome back to Simply Spiritual. It's obviously going to be a different reading today. I moved my camera a little bit too, so ignore the poop pillow in the background. So, I don't even know what this video is going to be exactly. I'm really tired too, so I'm a little bit delusional. I haven't been sleeping very well in the last month. I don't know, been in a weird state, I guess. So I've been, how long have I had this channel? I feel like it's at least been 2 years. And I always liked doing the daily check-in readings, right? But when it came to the zodiac signs, and frankly, all of them, just any reading at all, doing it collectively is difficult. Because, doing it collectively is very difficult because my biggest fear on this channel is to keep people stuck. And that comes from personal experience. That comes from the beginning of my, I guess you could call it spiritual awakening, right? Where I started to watch videos and I got caught up in the whole twin flame concept, right? And, you know, I would watch, I'm telling you, videos literally all day long. I'd have my headphones in at work and I'd just listen to twin flame videos. And I got so sucked into this concept, right? Now, is it real? Is it not? I don't know. But I'll never take that back because it has changed my perspective on the world and everything for the better. But it kept me stuck for years, right? And again, I wouldn't take it back. And that's part of the reason that I still push myself to do these videos is I know that these videos played such a role in my awakening and in my growth that I want other people to be able to do that. But at the same time, like my, what's it called? My, not my subconscious, my guilty conscious feels wrong for doing any sort of reading, collective reading that says your ex is coming back or anything like that, because it keeps people stuck and it keeps me stuck. Even if I listen to my own readings, it keeps me stuck. I'm still someone that holds out for miracles like that, right? I'm like, oh, they're gonna come back, right? And so it's difficult for me to want to post these videos. And then sometimes I completely doubt card readings at all, because it's like, well, why am I telling all these people that their ex is going to come back or whatever when it's not? And it's like, well, I'm sure that happened for one of you at least, but it's just hard for me to want to do collective readings because it's just like, I feel like anybody, how do you know whether you really resonate with it or not? Like, it's difficult. So really, I should just offer personal readings, which actually I am starting to on my Etsy shop. It's Simply Spiritual. I have 2 different types of readings: why they ghosted you, and I think how they feel about you. I forget exactly what I worded it. And the reason there's specific readings is because I don't want anyone to get confused when I present a reading. I don't like general readings because it's just in terms of like a paid reading, because I don't feel like you actually get what you want. I feel like whenever you actually go in for a paid reading, there's a burning question that you have, right? So I want it to be more like that. You're gonna get your answer, right? If you want to know why they ghosted you, I'm gonna tell you what the cards say. But if you're doing collective readings for stuff like that, it's just like, obviously not everyone's gonna resonate with it, but people are gonna attach to that story that shouldn't attach to that story. And it just makes me feel guilty. So I'm struggling with what I want to do with this channel because, I like doing it and I like reading cards and I'll always read cards, but it's hard to do it collectively. And so I'd like to, I think if I'm gonna, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I mean, I may just continue it and I'm just having a blip on the radar, but I always try to talk about in my videos that, like, I try to give more advice, right, than some other readers. I try to, mention maybe don't wait for people and all that, but I don't know where I'm going. I guess if I continue readings, I want to make sure they're very focused on not keeping people stuck. It's just every few months I go through this like crisis and I'm like, I can't keep making people stuck. And so I'm trying to determine whether I want to push this channel to more of just a channel about, you know, spiritual awakening things. And, you know, I can talk about cards, and once in a while I'm sure I'd read cards, but do I want to gear it more towards, you know, going through the path of a spiritual awakening and talking about that, maybe talking about relationships or something, things I've learned, advice that I can give, right? It just eats me alive that I'm keeping people stuck, because I keep my own self stuck too. And honestly, I don't really watch readings anymore. It's crazy because, you know, a few years ago, I'd watch readers that say, oh, I don't really watch readings anymore. And I'm like, how do you not watch readings? Like, how do you survive? And it's interesting because I don't really watch them anymore. I occasionally will. The only really reader I watch religiously is Dharma Jain on YouTube. And other than that, like, I'll occasionally, if some title catches my eye or something, I'll watch it. But I don't really, because I don't know. I just don't feel like I need it anymore, I guess. And like back to like what I said, it's like, well, you know, tarot readings, general readings played such a huge role in my growth that, like, I have to think of it like that, I guess. Like, I'm helping people just in their growth and maybe even learning to read. Because I learned to read cards by watching other people read cards on YouTube. So, I mean, I don't know. I just hate keeping people stuck. Because I know how much I get stuck on situations that I shouldn't get stuck on. Anyways, another thing I wanted to mention in this video, I just bought this book. It's called You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. It's about a journey of a spiritual awakening. I'm only about a third through, but I already want to talk about it. I've never heard of this woman. She has a YouTube channel, Elizabeth April. It's just very interesting to me because it talks a lot about, it confirms some things to me. It confirms, I don't really know anyone else that, personally, that reads cards. Ironically, I've met two people in the last, since I've moved, I've met two people out and about that read cards. And before that, I had never met anybody. But this kind of helped confirm a lot of things, like that I'm not crazy. And like I said, I've only gotten this far. Because sometimes you feel crazy and you're like, is any of this even real? But you read stuff like this and you read other people's experiences and that they've dealt with the same thing. It's great. It really helped me, even though I've only read a third of it. And of course, every situation is different. My awakening didn't come as dramatic as a lot of people's. I've always kind of been open to this kind of stuff, and I've always questioned society and things like that since I was like young. I mean, like in high school, in my yearbook, I was voted most original. It's like, I've always gone against the grain. So in terms of like stuff in this book, like I've already been doing that. Like I've been doing that since I was a kid. So, and I didn't have the big like shock and crazy depression and anxiety. I have anxiety. I've had anxiety since I was a kid, panic attacks, all that, like extreme. Not just like, oh, I'm a little anxious, like extreme level. I mean, you can probably see it in this video. I haven't been doing very well lately. But that happened far before I would call when I had my awakening, right? But after reading this book, I'm like, was my awakening, my nose is itching. Okay, that's a confirmation. I was gonna say, was my awakening far before I thought it was? I'm gonna say that's a yes. Because I've been having anxiety since I was probably, oh, that's interesting, because I'm just realizing the first time I really started to have anxiety was when I was 9. It was right around when 9/11 happened. Yeah, 9. When I was 9. My teacher's brother passed away. He was on one of the planes. And she left school and all that. But as a 9-year-old, it's like, what's going on? Because most other 9-year-olds, they didn't really see it directly. But to me, like when you're a kid, like your teacher is a relevant part of your life very much. And so to have my teacher gone all of a sudden, that's when I started anxiety happening to me, and had my first panic attack and went to the hospital and all that, right around that same time. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's almost like that was my awakening. But I've always questioned society and all of that, and you know, the whole, like, when I first started working a 9-to-5 job, I bawled my eyes out every day on the way there. And it's not that I didn't want to work. It was the fact that it was like, is this all that my life is going to be, is going to this job? You know, I worked, oh, I'm not going to say where I live, but I worked somewhere where it took me an hour and a half to get to work. And so, you know, I was gone out of my house 12 hours a day. And it's like, it was just the pattern of it, the realization that that was what everyone did until they were 65, 70 years old. It was like, are you serious? And ever since then, I have been constantly trying to create a business, to figure out a way to be self-employed and not have to follow the grain in terms of career. I mean, I've never followed the grain with, you know, appearance and things like that. And I don't necessarily want children, and I don't necessarily believe in monogamy either. But anyways, back to the job thing. I've always tried to create a business, and I've tried countless things. People don't even know, like, when I tell people, like, I try to start businesses, it's like, oh, that's cute, right? People don't have any idea how much time I've spent trying to figure out what my life purpose is here. And it wasn't until my spiritual awakening that I started to be able to figure out a way that I thought I could make a living. And I don't do this stuff just to make a living. I don't read cards because I want to make money. I read cards because it's changed my life. But if I can make money on something that I, like, enjoy doing, and something that's changed my life, then that's fantastic. But I've tried everything in the book. And the only thing that I've ever actually made money on is this YouTube channel, reading cards on video, and my oracle decks, which I'm sure you already know if you follow this channel. But if you found this video randomly, I'm going to show you. We have the Love Oracle, Mirror Oracle, and my newest, the Crystal Ball Oracle. And this was something I did on a whim. I had always thought this would be something that I'd do far down the line, right? When I had more subscribers. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And now I've made 3 decks, and I've made a significant amount of money, more than I ever thought that I would make. It's crazy to actually, so I was 21 when I started my first full-time job. So for I'm about to be 30, 8-9 years, I've been trying to find something. And it took me 8-9 years to even make a penny. And I've spent so much money doing so. And I don't know. Anyways, what I'm saying is, this is the only thing that's I ever felt like I wanted to. It's the only thing I felt like I had a passion for that also could make money. And so when I question reading cards on YouTube, it's like, well, then what am I going to do? Because I have a vision with this, but it's like, I don't think I can continue to keep people stuck. I think I would rather do videos like this and talk about my experiences. It's much more vulnerable because I know some people I know follow this channel. So if you're watching, hi. I'm sure you've never heard me talk like this before. But, yeah. I don't really know what the point of this was, but I'm sure I'll do card readings on here again. Who knows? It may be tomorrow. But today, I've been struggling with it. And after reading this book, it reminded me that my path is a spiritual path. My soul purpose, my soul mission has something to do with the spiritual path. I just haven't quite pinpointed it yet, but I'll tell you right now, I will sell Oracle decks and make Oracle decks for the rest of my life because I love doing that. It's great. It's awesome. Love it. Oh, hello. Alright guys, this is definitely a different video. Hopefully this was helpful. And if it was, give me a thumbs up and subscribe so you can be notified when I post future videos. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at It's Simply Spiritual. Etsy shop is also It's Simply Spiritual. That's my cat Winnie. Say hi. Alright guys, I will see you next time with some sort of content. I don't really know what it is yet. Bye.